Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to see you. I am Sarah coming to you from Wasilla, Alaska, and welcome to my crochet corner. It has been too long, and I have so much to share with all of you. And let's get right to it.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get right to it.
Okay, what is it?
Do you know what you've done?
What have I done?
What have you done?
Well,
You have made too many things. You have made my army shrink. Do you think I appreciate that?
No. I don't think you do. But, sweetie, what?
I'm not your sweetie.
Yes, you are.
You have ruined my army. I have shrunk to the shrunkest.
Yes, the monster downstairs is slowly being defeated, one ball at a time.
Well, guess what? I'm gonna make you buy it. I'm going to make sure you're gonna buy even more balls.
Well, I bought minis. Does that count? Minis. And they're adorable. Oh, Catherine, the audience is out there. Say hi to the audience. There she goes. Ha! My little gremlin. I've scared her off for now, but I don't know if I can keep her at bay forever. We'll see how long it lasts. Because I know she's going to want to get... She actually helped me a lot before I got this all... I am surrounded by what I have done. I got to give you guys a rundown. I was going to do a podcast around Christmas, and my husband was absolutely wonderful, and he saw the phone I was using, and I was constantly deleting pictures and videos in order to upload a 30-minute video for you guys, to upload it, delete it, and then do the next one. And my husband bought me a brand new phone that had a lot more space, so I wouldn't have to choose between, memories and these videos that I do. Well, for myself, like a vlog, and for you, if you are entertained, I am glad if you stick around for the full half hour. Bless you. And then it got lost in the snow, because of course it did. And I got so deflated from oh no, he did this really sweet thing I didn't ask him to do, and then it get lost in the snow, and I got Christmas projects done. I got so much done. But in the end, it meant more to me that people got their gifts rather than a video be made. So a couple things got lost, but my husband was amazing. And he bought me a new, and this one will never get lost, ever. And we made it through winter. Breakup is here. And over winter, I was busy. I forgot how much I did, and my daughter was finding stuff and grabbing it. And yes, Mom, you did this, that, and the other thing, and these extras that you forgot, not just these two things that you remember from the last, 3 months. You've done a ton, and I have a lot to share, so let's get to it. The first big thing that I'm going to share with you is my big, beautiful blanket, and I'm going to definitely need my assistant, Catherine, darling. Multivalence is complete. I received the final clue in December. We had until February to finish in all the ends, but I was like, no, this is a Christmas present. I'm getting it done. And Denise at Fiber and Ice was extremely generous and said, you can come to my store and do a block party, because I did not have the space in my house between the foot traffic and the dog. This was not getting blocked at my house. Yes. So we had a lovely block party, and I get to show you this in all of its glory. It is absolutely stunning. This is 12 months.
And it's my blanket.
It is all hers. It has been on her bed. I'm telling her you cannot get a single stain on this. And she has been true to her word. Oh, I don't know if you can see the whole thing. It is incredible. And, and here we have, the last time I saw you guys, I was at this clue. And here is where we went from there. Oh, I love it. I love it. I particularly love this one. This was November, and that was when we actually got our first real snow. And and then it ended with this. But this was so big, and I learned all about, blocking and the wetting process and pinning it out and getting out the mats. And it's a process, and it spent the night. We did it all in one evening, getting it pinned out, laid out, spread out to the shape that we wanted. And we did it in the back of her store. And if anyone wanted to come in the back and see what we had done, they could do that. And it was just, and people were commenting, it's gorgeous. And I was actually really able to see it. I feel for the first time when you're working on something for so long, you kind of stop seeing it because you're with it all the time. And I went from, I should have said thank you, but I said, I know, because it was like I was seeing it for the first time of, oh my goodness, this really is gorgeous. And it's going to be coming home in, 2 days' time. And it's lovely. It's lacy. It's a lovely wool blanket. I don't know if I'll ever make this again, but I am so glad I did. This was a journey. I loved every moment of it. And what's funny is that people that were behind in this clue right here, this was July. This was one of my favorites. This was the rite of passage. This was like crossing the river Jordan, because if you got past this crocodile stitch pattern, we all went, congratulations, you're in the home clear. Everything goes so much faster after you get through this section. And, but yeah, this was a favorite. I loved it. And this, I used all of Denise's Fiber and Ice. This is all of her sport weight yarns. So highly recommend it. The pattern is from Expression Fiber Arts, Multivalence. I got a text from Expression Fiber Arts, them asking me, would you like to join our MCAL for this year? And I went, no. I've done 2 CALs in 1 year. I'm good. There's my, are you coming to claim your blankets, my dear? But it can be used as a blanket, and if you have it, it can be a gorgeous wrap as she flamingos around in it. She adores it. For a while, I was telling her, we're going to have to do a share plan where it's mine during the day and yours at night, and that didn't happen. It's hers. It is completely hers, and she loves it. I think she let me do a big dramatic picture with it once, if I can find it. But she wears it and she loves it, and I'm so glad that she loves it. It was a joy to make. So other things that I have made, Denise did a yarn colorway, and it was called Pumpkin Spice a Latte. And this came out, I want to say around, it was after the last podcast I'd done with you guys. So it was after September, around October, November, and she did this colorway. And I saw it and I knew exactly what I was going to make, and it was going to be a slouchy. I've made this pattern before, and that hat had been lost, sadly, but I was like, perfect. This is Pumpkin Spice a Latte, and it's one of my favorite slouchy patterns, and it fits really great, and you can do up the brim, and you can make it however, slouchy you want in the back. I like extra slouch. And so I make my nice fitted rim, and it feels really nice and warm on my head, and it feels fantastic. Well, what's funny is that Catherine really liked this hat as well, and she kept constantly borrowing my slouchy. And while she does look absolutely adorable in it, I couldn't have her constantly stealing my slouchy. By the way, the pattern for this slouchy, it's in a magazine, Crochet Comfort and Joy. It was done up by Crochet World. I'll put the link now because my copy of the magazine that I got this from has been so well loved. It died, and I had to actually go and purchase, I believe I did it on Annie's Attic. And I had to purchase the PDF magazine, but I will link in the description so that you can find it. It's a wonderful magazine. You can get this and various other patterns I'm going to show you. So she wanted a slouchy, so I made her one. I changed the measurements a little bit to fit a child's head, and I used Knit 3 Tog. I had a ball of their crayon shavings, and I was going to use this in a blanket, but crayon shavings is one of their popular colors, and I thought, you know what? This is fall, and this will look up really great in a slouchy as well. Catherine, would you like to come model your slouchy?
Sure.
She actually fished this for me and went, Mommy, you did make this. And so yeah, can you show our audience how it fits? So it's basically, I did the same length, but I take into account that obviously her head is not as big as mine. And she can brim it if she wants. She chooses not to, and see, it still has a nice bit of poof. But yeah, you just moderate your stitches to fit a certain type of head, and boom, there you go. So now she and I have our slouchies, and those were the two hats. Well, of course, when Denise does a new colorway, she usually does it in multiple size of yarn, and so this was worsted. I want to say this was worsted. It's not her bulky. I want to say this is her worsted. Well, she had done it in her sock yarn, and when I saw it, I went, I must have pumpkin spice socks. And so I used a pattern that I have fallen in love with. I used it. Did I use this for Catherine's socks that I made her? But this is just my simple crew sock, and I love these. These were so fun, and they fit beautifully. They have been through the wool wash, hand wash, wool wash, and these are my socks. And I'm just going to show you one in particular. So I start from the toe, do the foot, and it did this going around. But then look what it did. Look what happened in the cuff. And that's why I loved hand dyed, is that you never know what's going to happen when you change around going from foot to ankle, and it created this effect all around the ankle, and I loved it. I love when hand dyed surprises me, and they feel nice and warm, and they washed up really, really well. I just, from now on, I am going to, if it's wool, I'm just going to hand wash it. I know superwash, you should be able to, but I've thrown superwash wool, Catherine socks into the washing machine, and sadly the colors are starting to fade. I'm like, I'm not willing to take that chance again. I'll just wash them by hand. It's worth it, the time and the small bit of effort to keep my colors looking vibrant and beautiful like this. And so, yeah, hand crocheted socks, and they feel fantastic on my feet. I wear them in sneakers, I wear them in boots, I can wear them around the house. And so, my pumpkin spice all latte socks. I would love to believe that I would buy enough hand dyed to have a pumpkin spice all latte sweater, but that would be a lot of yarn, and I'm not quite sure I could pull it. But I am covered on my feet and my toes. I'm happy. So I used the same pattern, and I made my husband a pair of house socks because he gets cold feet. And I'd had this ball of yarn for a few years, and it's Denise's Ice Road Trucker, and it had my husband's name written all over it as far as I was concerned. I still have ends to sew in, but I went, honey, they're done. They're off the hook, and let's put them on your feet. And then they stayed on his feet, and I'm like, okay, I'll sew in the ends later, because he wore them for the rest of the evening. But here are his Ice Road Truckers. He went, yeah, they're going to fit a giant. And I said, and you, they will fit you. And they fit so nice and snug on his foot. This technically was from it's a crew sock pattern, but it was for a women's sock. So after sizing him, I figured he worked best. He actually fit a women's large. So he was a little loose in the ankle, but it fit beautifully on the foot. And hand dyed, you never know if the things are going to do anything crazy, but it looked like the black kind of did like a kind of camo effect a little bit through here, but they looked great on his feet. I think I'm going to change up my sock pattern now. I now know that I have a tried and true toe up crew, and that's a wonderful feeling to have. Also, this pattern was also in my Comfort for Joy from Crochet World. So yeah, another tried and true pattern. I love it. Don't you love it when you find patterns that work and you can go back and go, this works. So those were my finished objects. I just finished his socks, goodness, last week. And then I finished my last pumpkin lice maybe by Christmas. The hats were done in the fall. These were done by Christmas. And now I'd like to move on to some fun acquisitions. So I found a book, and I was very excited to find it. I believe I have it. Just right over here. Yes. And it's from Annie's Crochet, and it's 101 doilies. And they're like, Sarah, it's a doily book. They're a dime a dozen. Let me tell you what's special about this one. This book goes, okay, for all of you ladies and gentlemen that don't like to crochet with lace, we also have these patterns can be used with worsted weight cotton. And I went, ooh, so I got really, really excited. And so the goal is that I would like to do I have so much cotton. I have, because it's cheaper to buy them the cotton on a cone. And so I'm going, you know what? There are 101 doilies, and they're not particularly, they're no more than 9 rounds long. I'm going to slowly work through this book. And so, oh, it's descending. My doily. This was my first one, and I've sewn in my ends. It probably needs to be properly blocked, but there's my first doily. Comment in the sections. What do you think? I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with it, other than the fact that I love the fact that I feel that doilies are now accessible to people who don't want to mess with lace. I go down to fingering weight, and I am so happy with that. So that's my first doily, and that was just a fun project to see what it would look like in worsted, and I think it looks really, really lovely. So that was a fun project that I did just to practice and see, what happens when I do it with cotton. And so this is a wonderful book, and I probably got this at Joann's, but you can purchase it through Annie's Crochet. 101 doilies. And that really is all my finished things. And now I can show you the stuff that I'm working on. Oh, I am crocheting for a wedding. Taylor, if you're watching this, go away. Go do something and I'll call you back. Okay, she's gone, hopefully. And I have a book of granny squares, of granny blankets. And my good friend, his daughter is getting married. And I went, ooh, an excuse to make pretty things, because weddings don't happen every day. And I get very excited. So I found a pattern, a book that I have called The Great Granny Crochet Book. It is from the American School of Needlework. This was a book I purchased on Amazon through the marketplace, because this is definitely an older book. And sadly, the picture is not going to do it justice, but I am making the bridal rose blanket. And I'm just going to read the caption here. This Afghan is an adaptation of the traditional Irish crochet rose motif, which enjoyed worldwide popularity during the mid-1800s. Done then with the finest threads, the art was taught in convents, and items for export sale were made at home by Irish women to support their families during the disastrous years of the potato famine. Our updated version, a tribute to those dedicated women who put their needlework skills to make use during a time of national calamity, would make a lovely gift for the new bride or an anniversary present for a not quite so new one. So this yarn actually uses, darling girl, my wonderful imp, are you nearby? She's not, sadly. She's not always here at my beck and call, sadly. Maybe if I can get her for a moment, I can see. But this called for sport weight, and Denise had sport weight at Fiber and Ice, and there was sport weight at Joann's, but I had already felt a yarn that I really liked, and it's done by Cascade. If I can't actually show it to you, I'll just tell you what it is. It's Cascade, and it's baby soft, I want to say, and it's a fingering weight, and it's so soft. It feels like a cloud. And so I bought 2 white packages, and this, black and white can give it justice, but that is it. This is what it should look like in sport weight. And so I'm doing it in a fingering weight, so it's going to be a little bit truer to a traditional bridal rose blanket. And I have my squares. Could you get my Cascade, the baby sport I'm doing the bridal in? Could you go grab a package of it? It's a big giant package of it. It's white. It's got eights. There's like 8 balls in it. It's on my chair. You can't miss it. I'm going to show you a square. Okay. Oh, I love this so much. There it is. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's so delicate and dainty. And I'm keeping all of my squares in my lovely red velvet Valentine's chocolate box. I keep them all stored in my heart box. We'll see how many I get in there. But I get to make, how many I get to make of these? 63. I get to make 63 of these, and then I join them together. Yes. Thank you, darling girl. This is the yarn I'm using, and luckily they were all still bagged, so they are completely dedicated. Yes. And it is called Cascade Yarns Cherub Baby. If you're making something for baby or wedding, I am telling you, you need this. You really need this yarn. It comes in, I got color number 1. Let's see, I have a package. It's 50-gram balls, and you get 225 yards. And so I figured more is, I'm just going to go ahead and get probably a little bit more than what I need, because I would be sick to death if I ended up running short. So this is what I am using for her bridal blanket.
Attack mandalas!
Ah, wait! Oh my goodness, I'm being attacked by a mandala! A mandala, actually. This is Thunderbird. Oh my goodness, and who is this? I know you. This is the Sprite. Why are they attacking me, Catherine? Oh, I know.
Catherine, let that be a warning to you.
Oh, I know what she's
and
warning me
your
about.
projects.
It's a wonderful blanket that I abandoned over 2 years ago, and I need to go back and make them part of a beautiful blanket. Yes, this is what they're crying for help. They want They want to be made beautiful. Yes, I will do it.
I'm going to manage one of your problems.
Well, luckily I already told them about it. Luckily I already told them about that one.
Didn't tell about this one.
No, not yet.
Make a promise you won't make anything for 2 months.
I can't promise I won't make anything for 2 months. I'm on deadlines.
Thumb.
Well, luckily the thumb doesn't count. Anyway, goodbye. So I have projects that are in bags downstairs waiting to be finished, and these were actually colors for that, but that is another podcast for another day and probably another month. But Taylor, you can come back now. I'm done. I'm done showing off things that you cannot see. Don't cheat. You'll spoil the surprise. And I hate spoiled surprises. Anyway, I'll put away this book. That means nothing to you. Anyway, I am working on an actual really fun project. I was given a ball of yarn to do a sample for Denise's store. And when I came in, we had just had Easter, and I looked in her crib of where she has new yarns, and I went, oh my goodness, you have literally Easter in your crib. And she goes, oh, baby. I'm like, hey, whatever. It's gorgeous. And she asked me if I would do the crochet sample for the store, and I was very honored. And I could have picked so many of her colors, but the one that I really, really loved was her. I'll show you the color. And it's this lovely light yellow, and there's slight variation. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's light variations in the yellow. And so I told her I like having a project in mind. Where is the book? Constantly get to see me reaching over here. Oh, this is sad. Well, I am doing, oh, no, that's not it. Darling, where is my granny square book? I will be right back. I'm going to pause you for a second.